So this is sort of a response video to Dan the Man Reviews. If I had to live anywhere into the past or the future, um, I'm gonna actually give it two things. I'm gonna separate the past from the future so then I can make things easier for me. Because I don't want to be like, okay, I'm gonna choose the future and then forget all about the past, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna choose the past and forget all about the future. No, I want to be able to do this so that I could be able to have fun. So I get two choices, basically. I get two options. I get to do the past and the future. So what time of the past? Let's start off with the past because the past is a lot more interesting to hear about. So if I had to live anywhere in the past between definitely somewhere in the 1900s, you don't want to go anywhere below that because, oh my gosh, let's see, 1700s in America, like um, let's see, Lewis and Clark, right? Revolutionary. We had the freaking revolution, and we had like just like tons of stuff that went down in the 1700s, 1600s. America was discovered, and where I'm at right now is probably Indian territory. 1800s. Let's see what happened in 1800s. Civil War. I don't want to deal with that. The Wild West, where I'm at, like, well, we have outlaws. Like, this used to be like Indian territory, and we had tons of cowboys and Indians, guys. And so the 1900s, Oregon, especially where I'm talking about in Oregon, was probably a terrible place to be in freaking early 1900s because especially during the Prohibition days, oh my gosh. I went to these tunnels. You definitely don't. Okay, so if even if I'm not living in Oregon, if I'm living in like other states, the 20s would suck because I mean you can get paid for bootlegging alcohol, but you'll be considered a criminal during that time because alcohol, anything that you drink was illegal pretty much. Like any alcoholic products, you can't freaking do anything because of that. Women's suffrage, I think women's they didn't really have that many rights back then. They weren't allowed to vote. So like whatever they do depends on their man. So pretty much the men had all power. Well, the white man had power, not the black man, because they couldn't vote either. They were considered, I think it was 1/4 of a vote or something like that, or 1/10 of a vote. I can't remember how that worked. So yeah, so colored people couldn't really vote either. Uh, yeah. So and then there's the 30s, the Great Depression. Who the hell wants to live in the Great Depression? You are depressed as hell, and like, oh my gosh, you ain't making no money. This is when the stock market crashed. Um, and it was just crazy. We even had the Dust Bowl. You did not want to live out in Kansas. Oh, I feel bad for Ryan from Slice of Anime Manga 720 living all the way out in Alabama because the Dust Bowl was huge back in the day. So if he had to live in that time, he would not survive. Oh my gosh. Plus, we had the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. I think that was actually the 20s, but like even the president back then actually supported the KKK. No doubt about it. Like there were police officers in it. They were just all these white guys. They were all in the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. And then there's the 40s. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to get to it because that is probably the most dangerous era you would. Oh, wait, hold on. The 1917 was World War One. You definitely don't want to live in that era because let's say that. Okay, so 100 years from now would suck to live in because, well, not for America because America showed up to World War One and like the end of the war pretty much. But then there's World War Two, which was beyond World War One. It made World War One look like a piece of cake. And then this war, the freaking World War Two, was like bombs exploding. We had Hitler, we had freaking Joseph Stalin, uh, we had federal shoot FDR. I just call him that. Who was the only president that ran for 3 terms, third terms, 3 times, guys. So he was president for 12 years, pretty much, and for a whole generation. And it's crazy that he died. He was on a wheelchair, but he died eventually. And then Truman became president. This was the discovery of the nuclear bomb. So, yeah, pretty much World War II. You do not want to live in the 40s because you'll end up becoming drafted right out of high school. Like, you didn't even graduate from high school. You just get straight out, you just, boom, we're sending you out. Sorry. And then your chances of survival were really low. You're either fighting the Japanese or you're fighting the Germans if you're in America. So yeah, I don't. I would probably rather just be a rich guy because if you're married and you have your kids, um, I don't know. I forgot how that works. So you probably have a better chance of not going to war because they want fresh out of high school guys. Like, boom. So then there's the 50s. Now let me tell you about the 50s. That's the era I'd probably want to live at. Okay? So I chose the 50s because well, Dan the Man chose the 50s too because the baby boomers are growing up because they were born right after the war. They're in their like teen years in the late I'd say late 50s, though I don't want to go to like this and it guess who's big? Elvis Presley. You had his hairstyle, you know how they had that pomade looking ass they had the blue suede shoes. Now that was like the Jordans back then. Now like those are really good to have back in the days. And then you got cheap gas, guys, cheap food. I'm not kidding. They were like 10 cents. They were so cheap. Like 10 cents for like a cheeseburger. 10 cents to fill up your gas. Now, it's like you order off a value menu. That's the closest thing you're getting is like $1.99 um at a McDonald's or something like that. But and food was healthier back then too. Like it was fresh stuff, man. Cheddar cheese, no American cheese. Well, I think it was the invention of American cheese. I can't remember, but a lot of stuff that we have today were basically like the washing machines and all that. That they were all from the 50s, guys. They're just updated. So yeah, I'd say I'd want to live in the 50s. Plus, I love their music, like their pop music. Ooh, wow. You don't remember me, but I remember you. Tears on my pillow. Little Anthony. So, yeah, the 50s, hands down. I love the theme. It's like, oh my gosh, drive-in movie theaters. Whoo, were the bomb back in the day. We don't even have those anymore, barely. Like, there's only like two in like that I see in Oregon, but they're so damn rare. Then there's the 60s, and you know what you got to deal in the 60s? Well, the gas prices went up a teeny bit. That's not the problem. It's the Vietnam War. Like, when you get to the late 60s especially, like, oh my gosh. But the only thing epic was we went to the moon. That was the only thing epic. But Neil Armstrong went to the moon. Not I didn't. I didn't go to the moon. You didn't go to the moon. Nobody went to the moon. Neil Armstrong went to the moon. So only one man went to the moon. So we had the Cold War pretty much during that time too. So the 70s was all about that Cold War stuff. 80s, well, 70s also had that disco shit going on. Like, you guys seen Semi-Pro? If you haven't seen that movie, I recommend you watch that because it had Will Ferrell in it and all those, and it had that dude Andre from Andre 3000 and yeah, Outcast. Hang out. Yeah, go watch that. Oh my gosh, Semi-Pro is a hilarious movie. Yeah, that disco shit. Then there's the 80s. I don't really know much about the 80s besides that funky stuff. Yeah. It's like a more hardcore-ish disco. Yeah. And 60s was like, you know, that rockin' music, like the Beatles. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Man, that bullshit. Like, I didn't like the Beatles as much as Elvis, man. You ain't nothing but a hand. You know that. Like, he was shaking that leg. And then we got what's his face in the 80s. So who do we have in the 80s? Michael Jackson. Oh, Oh my gosh, this guy was epic. Oh man. And we also had Michael Jordan too. Mike Tyson, I think. I can't remember. But we had Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. So 90s was huge because we had Gangsta Rap, we had the NWA, we had the Tupac Shakur, we had the Biggie Smalls, we had the all the good rappers back in the day, old school rap, back when rap was real, guys. Like rap today doesn't send the same message as it did back then, guys. Like rap today, all they talk about is, yeah, I'm making this much money. I'm getting this much booty. I'm getting all the bitches. I'm getting all the hoes. I'm getting all the STDs up in this place. I'm getting all the money. I fuck your bitch. I get all these bitches. Yeah. Yeah, you got club going up on a Tuesday. Yeah, pretty much you have these kind of rappers nowadays. Like, yeah, we have Drake. We got Lifestyle. We have that Young Thug. We got so many damn rappers today who don't really send out the same messages as like Tupac. California love. Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Straight off my chest. I forgot how that goes a bit, but yeah, we also had Juicy. You don't want me there where you are. We had a lot of good R&B singers too back in the 90s. Like, I love the 90s, but I probably prefer living in the 50s because of the cheaper gas, the cheaper stuff. Everything was just good. I could buy a nice car for $100 in the 50s. I'm not kidding. Like, my grandpa, when he was in 1958, he got his first car. In 1958, when he was like 16, he got his first car. And guess what? How much he bought it for? He told me, dude, I bought it for $100. I was just like, holy shit. If I had all that money that I do today, and I went back in time, I could easily I could be a millionaire. I'm not kidding. I'd be like I'd be a millionaire if I lived in the 50s with all the money I got in my account. So, I don't know about you guys. You better be working. Put in work. Think about it though. But the minimum wage though back then too was cheaper. Was down to like you're making only. He worked for $1 an hour. I'm not kidding. Like that was minimum wage back then. He worked in the mills. Me, I'm making like $9.50. So, except government didn't really took out tax like they do now. The IRS are so strict on your ass. You're getting more taxes pulled out than ever. So pretty much, yeah. If I had to live there, I would. So now for the future, I'd probably wanna. I'll make this one quick. I'll live 20 to maybe 30. I'd probably stick from 20 years from now. I want to be able to see what life is like 20 years ahead of me because I want to be able to see my cousins look older, and then I'll be like the younger cousin now. I'll be like, hey, I look the same. My dad would be like, holy shit, John. Everyone, all the pictures would be like all the ladies, they'd be like, oh my gosh, you look the same. What's the secret? I'm like, oh man, now you all want to know how I became immortal. Because I don't want to go too far into the future to the point where all my family's dead. Like, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go like 100 years into the future. Not even like 50 years. I'm just worried. I don't want to see my friends look old. I don't want everyone to look that old. I say 20 years from now would just be perfect. 30 years, I don't know. I might be slightly worried that they might go slightly downhill. But 20 years would be awesome. But let me know what your guys' opinions. Drop me a like if you haven't subscribed. Leave a comment below, especially. I want to know what you guys want to live in the past, the future. Like, what do you want to tell me? And I want technology to be so much better in the future. I can tell the future is going to have so much better technology. PlayStation 7. Oh. The iPhone 20. Pokemon Heart. Pokemon with all the regions. Oh my gosh. They can talk now. Oh, we got real life Pokemon actually. We don't even need that. Oh my gosh. All right, so drop me a like if you haven't subscribed. Immortality exists? What? I can make the fountain of youth. We found that. We can go to Mars. We can go to. Oh man, I'm dating an alien. What? Oh man. All right. Drop me a like if you haven't subscribed. This is JJD Uchiha, and have an awesome day.